critical Week 9 matchup for two teams trying to navigate their way to the postseason. And the home team, the Purdue Boilermakers, ready to bust onto the field after a disappointing loss a week ago at Rutgers. But back home at Ross-Ade Stadium in front of the faithful in West Lafayette. Meanwhile, Nebraska coming off their open week. And before that, two really disappointing losses, lopsided losses to both Wisconsin and Ohio State. So they, too, are trying to get back into the winning column. Football on BTN tonight is presented by John Deere. As I mentioned, both teams 3 wins against 4 losses and try to right the ship after a defeat for Purdue last week and a couple of defeats for Nebraska before their open week last Saturday. Hello, everybody, with Coach Glenn Mason. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, you know, I said it's a critical matchup. It really is. Both of these teams hoping to go bowling, obviously, and they each need 3 wins in 5 games to do it.
Yeah, on paper it doesn't look like a big game, but you already mentioned about Nebraska. You know, this open week couldn't have come at a better time the way they played the 2 previous games. Plus, they were banged up. And then you think about Purdue. I personally think that Purdue is the surprise team of the Big Ten until that loss against Rutgers. Now, tonight, both these teams, they really need a win to keep bowl hopes alive.
Each with 3 wins, as we said, needing to get to that magical number 6 number. And for Purdue, the quarterback situation, they've been playing 2 guys. Tanner Lee's been playing better for Nebraska, so the quarterback spot will be something to watch.
Well, it will be. Tanner Lee throws a lot of interceptions. They can't do that. And the quarterbacks, who's going to play better tonight for Purdue? We'll find out.
We will find out indeed. But for the message of Mike Riley, we go down to our own Michelle McMahon.
Brandon, thank you, Coach. Coming off a bye week with 3 wins on the season, how did you emphasize the significance of a win in tonight's game with your team?
Well, it's big. It's that time of year where teams start to separate, and you either get better or not. So it was timely for us to get some guys back, and I hope it was timely just to kind of reset and get going.
What's the first sign in the first quarter that you'll be looking for that your team accepted that advice?
Well, I think that if we're stopping the run and running the ball a little bit, that'll be a good sign.
Coach, thanks so much for the time. Brandon?
Mike Riley in his 3rd season at Nebraska. Of course, Jeff Brohm, his 1st season as the head man for the Purdue Boilermakers. Time to get you the Principal Financial Group keys to the game, and for that, I turn it over to Glenn Mason.
Well, you know, for Nebraska, they've got to get their run game going, the ground game. The last 3 games, they've been outgained on the ground. Normally, when they win that battle, they win the game. And for Purdue, they play 2 quarterbacks. They play Blough, they play Sindelar. Both of them have talent, but they've been inconsistent. Who's ever in the game has to play consistent for them.
And we mentioned that Blough will get the start. That's the word from Jeff Brohm as of a couple hours ago, after Sindelar got the start the last couple of weeks as they volley back and forth, the Boilermakers, between their signal callers. It is a chilly night in West Lafayette, 39 right now. We're supposed to bottom out right around the freezing mark at 32, but the winds are pretty calm, and we're lucky to have a couple space heaters up here in the booth, so we're okay. So Nebraska, as they come off that open week, hoping to have fresh legs and a new focus, because the last 2 times on their home turf against Wisconsin and Ohio State, albeit 2 top 10 teams, were not very pretty. They're amped up. They've had all day to party in West Lafayette. And here we go as Drew Brown gets the right leg into it. And DJ Knox watches it sail over his head for a touchback. So David Blough will lead out the Purdue Boilermakers. In the last couple of weeks, he's been coming off the bench, but he was out there at the end last game against Rutgers, and he will start it tonight.
Yeah, to think under that type of pressure for him to perform and throw the pass with 30 seconds left in the game for a touchdown, I was really impressed. He's got talent. It's consistency that's the problem.
Can he find that consistency against this Nebraska black shirt defense? Knox goes in motion, and here's a handoff, And a 4-yard gain to start for Richie Worship. That's the big back, 6'1", 260-pounder from Cleveland, Ohio. In his career against Nebraska, here's what David Blough has done.
Yeah, watch him go. He's a good athlete. He can take it the distance, and I'll tell you, he's got a good arm. If he makes the proper read, he's in good shape and throws the ball on time. 43
career touchdowns against 33 career interceptions for Blough. Just 1 yard that time for DJ Knox. Nice tackle by the safety Joshua Kalu. And Nebraska is happy to have Kalu back. In addition, they also have Chris Jones at corner. They have Aaron Williams back from an injury. So Nebraska has the original secondary that they thought they were going to be starting this year, and that's a good thing.
The bye week couldn't have not have come at a better time for those guys.
Yeah, getting them all healthy. For Bob Diaco and company on the defensive side of the ball. And that's incomplete. Third down, tried to target his tight end Bryson Hopkins. But it was an errant pass from Blough, and Purdue will go 3 and out.
Yeah, Nebraska went to man coverage, and I think typically against a Jeff Brohm offense, it's tough to play man coverage. But right now, they don't have that type of speed at the skill positions to beat that man coverage. So look for them to run the football more tonight, because they have problems throwing it downfield also.
Joe Schopper, who had a good game against Rutgers. He was one of the lone bright spots. This one a relatively short punt. Fair caught at the 35. It's a 34-yard punt with the DeMornay Pearsonell fair catch. And Tanner Lee on the other side for Nebraska. And he's been playing much better as of late.
The one statistic that'll jump at you that will scare the heck out of you as a coach, though, 13 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That's not good.
The good news is against Illinois, Wisconsin, Ohio State. 6 touchdowns and 1 interception in those last 3 games. But yes, Coach, those first 4, 9 picks. Through the first 4 games, he led the nation in that category. Play action to start. Lee completes it. Already inside of Purdue territory on the first pass of the game to Stanley Morgan. Morgan is their leader in receptions, yards, and touchdowns, and that one goes for 48.
Yeah, you'll see Purdue, they jumped the cut. But, you know, if you don't get the ball, you got to make the tackle, and I'm not really sure what he was doing there. 18 to the 8.
So just like that, with the missed tackle, they're in the red zone of the Cornhuskers at the 18. High formation. Now they shift out of that. Divine Ezigbo is in the backfield. Tyjon Lindsey went in motion, and they give it to Ezigbo. That's going nowhere. Lorenzo Neal, amongst others, but big number 9 at 325 pounds, credited with a tackle.
Brandon, I talked before about the troubles that Nebraska has been having running the football, and those of us have known Nebraska for a long time. Most of us, you know, kind of scratch our head. We just can't believe it. They just can't get it going. They have the pieces to be a lot better. They haven't put it together.
That's part of the reason that they're 13th in the conference in red zone offense. They'll try to do better here. Overthrown. Looking again for Stanley Morgan was Tanner Lee. 3rd down and 10.
When you look at Tanner Lee, the transfer from Tulane, man, he throws a nice ball. You give him protection. I think one of the, the problems that he has is making the proper read, and I think if he sees man coverage, he knows who to go to, but if it's zone, then he has to make his progression, and sometimes he makes mistakes. Watch for the defense, Nick Holt, the defensive coordinator at Purdue, to play more zone coverage tonight.
And they'll go conservative to Ezigbo. He jitterbugs around, but is dropped around the 27 for a short gain of a yard. From here, it would be about a 44-yard field goal for Drew Brown. Straight on for Brown, who does have a new holder tonight. Backup punter Isaac Armstrong to Zach Darlington, who normally holds his sick and back home. But the snap and hold look good, and the kick is right down the gut. So Purdue goes 3 and out. And then a 44-yard field goal by Drew Brown gets Nebraska on the board first. That's a look at the new Purdue football practice facility, $65 million facility. You and I, Coach, were over there yesterday. It's spectacular.
I was blown away. I tell you, that's as good a football facility of anyone that I've ever seen. I know a lot of people build and they say, we've got the best. I've not seen one better than that.
And
They've got it all.
Should really help Purdue and Coach Brohm recruiting as they go forward. DJ Knox from the 2. Tried to bust it outside the numbers, dragged down at the 20 for a return of 19. Now for the Auto Owners Insurance Impact players. Let's have a peek at those.
Well, I tell you, they've got to get the running game going. Richie Worship, 260 pounds. Not only big, he's good. Jackson Anthrop, leading receiver. He's their go-to guy. And for Nebraska, Chris Jones, a guy that plays corner that missed the first part of the season. Man, are they lucky to have him back.
Yeah, they are thrilled to have him back, and that guy's just thrilled to be Kool-Aid Man tonight. We're going to see some interesting Halloween costumes, I have a feeling, nighttime at West Lafayette.
I thought he was a watermelon.
The handoff will go to Richie Worship. He is powerful. He had his best game of the year last week against Rutgers. That carry goes for 9 yards. Yeah,
the big fella from Cleveland, Ohio. When I was watching tape of Purdue against Rutgers, he made some moves that for a 210-pound guy would be good. 260 pounds? Couldn't believe it.
Quick hitter out to the left to Jared Sparks. He's the converted quarterback. But Jeff Brohm said, hey, we need more playmakers at wide receiver. Moved Sparks out there, and he's really impressed. 6 yards on that last catch.
No secret, Jeff Brohm wants to throw the football, and he feels he has to run it more now because he can't attack people vertically downfield. He doesn't have that speed. All too often, they start with a shift or a motion. They call it eye candy.
Mike Riley was saying earlier in the week, we have to have our eyes in the right place at all times because of all the things that Jeff Brohm likes to do. Here's a sweep. They like to run those sweeps with Jared Sparks. That's only for 1 yard to the 40. Kalu in on the tackle.
That was a lot of running for 1 yard.
He had success with that play in Piscataway last week a couple of times. Did Sparks, not there. Joshua Kalu wasn't fooled. Inside, get Markel Jones, first carry of the game for Jones.
One step to the right, counter back to the left. Credit the Cornhuskers. Staying square. Reading their keys, making the play.
So after 3 yards, it's now 3rd and 6. Rushing yardage, Purdue 53, Nebraska 0 so far. Flag comes in, and the pass is batted down at the line. Khalil Davis, I believe, got the big paw on it. And it's going to be against Purdue.
Offense, number 55 was not on the line of scrimmage. That penalty's declined. Result of play is 4th down.
So certainly Mike Riley says to decline it, and now Purdue will punt.
Called the left tackle for being too far in the backfield.
Are these penalties that just drive a coach crazy?
Crazy. Those type of penalties is... I see those. I'm glad I'm up here with you.
Especially this late in the season. You think maybe week 1, week 2. It's just been fair catch after fair catch on these punts, and that's the same situation that time. So Nebraska takes back over with a 3-0 lead after a short 32-yard boot. Let's see, we got Drew Brees, we got Bob Greasy, we got Woodson. Who am I missing out there? I'm sure the Purdue folks tuning in will get us to us quickly.
Another great player.
Another great player, yeah. On first down to the ground, go the Cornhusker. 4-yard gain to the 29. Stopped by Eddie Wilson. We've called Lorenzo Neal's name Eddie Wilson, the other guy inside for Purdue that's very good. And those boys are big, number 7 and number 9. Of course, Lorenzo Neal, that name sounds familiar. His dad, Lorenzo Sr., 16 years in the NFL and 4 Pro Bowls. 2nd and 6 for Lee. And he throws it behind J.D. Spielman.
Yeah, when you watch film of this Purdue defense, and you know they're not overly big, except when you look at those guys inside, 300, 320, little guys 280, and that's not small.
Now there's some big guys on the other side of the football as well for Nebraska, that's for sure. 3rd down conversions, 1 of 7 between the two teams. Tanner Lee, 46 yards on his first pass of the game, 18-6. He is able to complete that, and it's close. It's right near the line to gain as Pearsonell hauls it in. It appears they're going to say he's a touch short.
And I'll tell you, Tanner Lee put that on the money, and there was an unblocked defender coming, and he knew he was going to get hit. Good hit, not too low, not too high by Purdue.
Look at this, they're going for it. Back inside their own 35, it's a sneak, and they got it with Tanner Lee. That's a gutsy call early.
Yeah, it's a gutsy call, but I think it's a reflection of what we talked about before, this Nebraska program and Mike Riley. I don't want to say desperate, but this is a big game. They need to win this game. You know, not play well, win the game.
A little shiver for Mike Riley, a shiver of relief. That will wind the clock down to the end of the first quarter. Nobody's gotten into the end zone. The only point's a field goal from Drew Brown of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. 3-zip after 1 in the books. So the one we didn't identify is number 23, Leroy Keys. He was a top target of Greasy back in the day, but there they are, Breeze, Woodson, Keys, Greasy. This was in between the quarters. They're running to the tape. Who wins it? Woodson.
Leroy Keys was one heck of a running back. You know, you would think they'd handicap it and give Greasy a little head start.
Greasy's not known as a runner, so you're right. Probably should have given him a little bit of an advantage. Tanner Lee uncorking one to start the second quarter, and it's batted down over the middle. That was Juwan Bentley who got the left hand on it.
Yeah, he'd have liked to have that. He'd have come out the back door and down that left sideline. Look at right there. Man, I get one-handed. I'm better than that. I got to catch that.
It was heading right for J.D. Spielman. Nice play by Bentley, making his 32nd career start tonight. That's tops for any Boilermaker. Gosh, we had the Morgan 46-yard catch. Worship had a 25-yard run. The other 30 plays in this game have totaled 62 yards. Lee will try to change that here. Incomplete. No flag. DeJuan Hunt on the coverage of Stanley Morgan.
Yeah, he saw the one high safety. He knew he'd have one-on-one coverage outside. Stanley Morgan couldn't beat him over the top, so he threw the back shoulder throw. And he's got the ability to catch that.
Should there have been a flag? Hunt with the left hand there on the shoulder? Was that clean? Are you a let-him-play guy?
I think that was a good no call right there. Yes.
3rd down and 10. Both offenses just searching for rhythm. Purdue rushes 4. And a nice catch and then a lunge by J.D. Spielman. And yet again, he's close. On the last drive, we had this situation. Nebraska went for it when they were just short and got it.
I think he's short.
I think we're going to have the exact same situation as the previous drive. Good attempt by Spielman. As Antonio Blackman was draped all over him, they're going to go for it again.
Remember those big defensive tackles inside.
Do they go sneak again with Lee? No, they hand it off to the first man through. It was Luke McNitt, and I don't think he got it. He's short. Second carry for McNitt, the fullback. And from the spot, he is short.
Yeah, Marcus Bailey, the linebacker, came in there like a shot. Right there. Came from the offensive left side, made the hit in the backfield, and that's a big play. Look at the size. Now, here's a big play. That's like a turnover. All too often, you'll see an offense, they'll go for all the money right here. I like to see a trick play. Come on, Jeff Brohm.
You know Jeff Brohm likes.
I know, don't
run
disappoint me. I haven't seen one yet. Give me one of those trick plays.
Off the play action, he's going for the home run. Oh, it's dropped. Isaac Zico would have had an easy touchdown. Drops plagued Purdue last week at Rutgers. And another one here.
Not a trick play, but he went for the home run. Play action fake. You talk about wide open. When I used to coach a receiver drop that, I'd bring him over and say, you want to play guard? Can't drop balls like that and play wide receiver.
Here's a trick play. They flick it back. And Blough able to complete it to Hopkins. So it should have been a touchdown. Then he goes trick play and gets it to Hopkins for 23 yards.
I'm losing my touch. I was one play off there. Went for the home run, then the trick play. Not a way to go, Jeff Brohm. I love it. Exciting football.
Hopkins, 16th catch of the season for the sophomore tight end. Quick out to Antrim. Stretches it out to the 21. Lamar Jackson was there, as was Muhammad Berry.
Yeah, Gregory Phillips. Another no-hitter out there. Jeff Brohm not going to be happy.
So Purdue was moving quickly. Now they take their time before 2nd and 9. Down 3-zip. About 13 minutes left, second quarter from Ross-Ade Stadium. Richie Worship dragged down by a sea of white jerseys after a pickup of 2.
I see what Jeff Brom's trying to do. He's got his wide receiver out there. He's got a rolled up corner. He throws the quick ball out there. The safety who's outside the hash would have to make the play all the way into the boundary, assuming the wide receiver blocks the corner, which he hasn't been getting done.
What does Purdue turn to 3rd and 7?
Well, I think they'll throw the ball, and I think they'll go up the seam.
Going in zone left side. Flags come in. Chris Jones on the coverage of Anthony Mahungu. And they're going to get the senior Chris Jones for interference.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Chris Jones was beat on the fade, and he grabbed him.
Chris Jones, who missed the first 5 games.
Pass interference. Defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, you can see he grabbed him right away.
He was rehabbing that knee, returned against Wisconsin, still not 100%. And that time, the flag comes against him, sets Purdue up nicely. Worship, straight ahead, touchdown, Boilermakers. With 12:30 left in the half on the 4-yard touchdown run by Richie Worship, and the drop doesn't end up hurting them. They got the 4th down stop, began the drive in plus territory, had the Zico drop that would have been the touchdown, but they're able to march it in, and Worship finishes it off. Purdue leads. Jeff Brohm said he wanted his Boilermakers to run the football more, and Worship got him into the end zone for just the 6th rushing touchdown of the season. And that is last in the conference. Worship's looked good.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised when I saw him on film. I mentioned before against Rutgers, it caught my eye, and one of the first things that Jeff Brohm said was, hey, we're going to go with the big guy. He's amazing what he can do for that size.
So Purdue has the first lead, 7-3. It's also just the 2nd touchdown that Purdue offense has had in the last 10 quarters. J.D. Spielman going to return this, and he's got some space. Oh, just got tripped up. As Tanner Lee's dragged down, the ball popped free. Nebraska jumps on it. They're still battling for it there. Jalen Robinson was the one to come in and jar the ball free from Lee.
There's a couple problems here. You'll see Tanner Lee. He wants to go to the out, but it's covered, and then the protection is right in his face. I have no idea what 71 was doing there.
A loss of 7. Yeah, Farniok right there should have just gone to the ground with the football. And then you had Nick Gates come over to grab it for Nebraska and save the possession. 2nd and 17. Dumping it off. Zigbo. It's a little back. 4-yard gain, but still 13 yards to go now on 3rd down after the tackle by Jawan Bentley. And here's our United States Marine Corps leader of the game. Purdue sophomore linebacker Marcus Bailey from Columbus, Ohio. Great GPA, 3.76. Academic All Big Ten. Smart kid, good ball player.
And this is 3rd and all day. Draw play, they already tried the screen. Go with the draw.
He's dropping and completing that to J.D. Spielman, and Spielman with a nice cut to pick up the first. Spielman coming off that game where he had a record 200 receiving yards against Ohio State 2 weeks ago.
Well, they got the coverage they wanted. It was man, as I talked about. That makes it clear cut for Tanner Lee. He knows the outside guys will be pushed. He knows the inside guys breaking the out. Great job by J.D. Spielman. The other great job by Tanner Lee putting the ball in the money in a hurry.
Made Antonio Blackman go skating early before the holiday season. 14-yard pickup. 1st down, and now this one is out to Lindsey. First catch for Tyjon Lindsey, and he had to jump cut outside to pick up positive yardage, but was able to do it. See ya.
Yeah.
Cutting inside and dropping Jacob Thiedemann. Everybody's on skates out there. We did have rain yesterday. Some intermittent showers today and light rain, and the temperatures falling to the mid-30s right now. It's football weather. Unless you're in the booth and you have space heaters.
It's always football weather.
Spielman in motion, Lee. Oh, they had a hand on him, and that is complete. Hoppus inside the 10. So the flag is down for a probable face mask against Marcus Bailey. And he'll decline that and take the 29 yards.
Oh, yeah. You know, Tanner Lee knew it was a face mask.
Foul. Face mask. Defense number 21. Penalized half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. Automatic 1st down.
So they tack it on half the distance into the play.
But he had a freebie. You know, he knew it was going to be a penalty. That was a face mask, yeah.
Great job by Lee with a chin strap coming up to his mouth to stay concentrated.
So much for running the football, huh?
Now, they threw it 47 times against Ohio State.
Yeah, they were behind.
Yeah, but Mike Riley just said, like you've been saying, Coach, we can't do that. That's not a recipe for us that's going to be successful. Inside handoff to Divine Zigbo. He'll take it down to the 3. Stopped by Marcus Bailey, who just had the face mask call.
I mentioned before, I have a hard time. I think everybody has a hard time figuring out why the Cornhuskers are struggling running the football the way they do, because if you go piece by piece and you look at the offensive linemen, are they great? No, but they're pretty good. They're young. You look at their running backs, they're good. They have receivers out there, they're spread around. They should be able to run the football better.
Missing a big piece to the puzzle in Trey Bryant, who had surgery earlier this week, as that pass is incomplete. In the direction of Jack Stoll, tight end.
They had 2 receivers in the same area. And again, he's under duress. Now, someone's wrong there.
I think that may have been intended for Morgan, but you're right. Lee had hit on his previous 5 passes before that incompletion.
Big third down.
7:10 left in the half. Nebraska trying to reclaim the lead. 3 to the left for Lee. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of DeMornay Pearsonell. He can't believe he dropped it.
Yeah, they put trips out to the left. They sent the inside 2 guys out, the outside guy in, hoping for a rub on the people playing man, and he is wide open for a touchdown and drops the football.
Nobody feels it more than number 15. That's a ball he catches 99 times out of 100, if not 999 out of 1,000.
You're wrong. Mike Riley feels it more.
21-yard chippy, and it's up and good. So all 6 points for Nebraska belong to the right foot of Drew Brown. Pearsonell saying that should have been 6, not 3. 7-6 Purdue. Let's check in with Michelle.
And the news gets worse for the Nebraska offensive line. Tanner Farmer is on the sideline currently with ice on that right ankle. It doesn't look good for his return. An already beat up Michael Decker was vividly frustrated on the sideline just a couple of drives ago, slamming his fist on the bench. And there's not a lot of communication down here on the Nebraska sideline. A lot of frustration down here, guys.
We've talked about the injuries up front. David Neville, he's not playing this week as well. Mike Riley's trying to piece together a bowl season. Anthrop's been a guy the defenses have been keying in on after a hot start to his career. Return to the ground game and Richie Worship. The pickup of 8 and the tackle by Joshua Kalu. So 2nd and 2 as the Boilermakers are starting to move the football with pace. Incomplete. Terry Wright that time with a drop.
Yeah, they finally got a good block out there by Gregory Phillips on the quick swing pass, and they dropped the football. Oh, yeah.
Looking upfield.
You block with your feet, and you catch with your eyes. Don't forget that.
Terry Wright, Jeff Brohm was saying, hey, he's our fastest guy. We want to get him the ball on those plays. You got to haul it in first. 3rd down and 2.
3rd and 2, and you drop the ball like that when the receiver has a block. That's what really stalls the drives.
Anthrop winning motion, and then they handed it to Worship, and he does the job. Out to the 46. Move the sticks. 1st down.
Let's watch it right here. Just get a little blocking. Just an off-tackle power play, but he blocks down. Right guard pulls around, and here comes 260 pounds.
Nice job by that 260-pound back Worship to step around Dedrick Young, who was coming in for Nebraska. Approaching 2 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. And Blough will dump it underneath on play action. So Richie Worship, we've seen him carry the ball, and he's got a couple of receptions tonight as well. And he says, I need a break.
Well, they're going to play a lot of backs. They said that. You know, they like to rotate them in, keep them fresh, rotate them in early so they're fresh late in the game. And
Knox is back out there. They told us we would see Tario Fuller, who's been out with the ankle injury, but he's yet to get a carry. Jacob Weinmaster with a tackle, then he'll sprint off. Blough trying to keep that right hand warm in the kangaroo pouch on a chilly night.
I I would think they get 2 downs to get a first hit.
We've got all 3 timeouts. Worship and Knox both in the backfield. It'll go to Knox. He has the first down and he breaks free. But he can't make it to the house. He gets tripped up. Stopped at the 15 by Joshua Kalu. The safety with a touchdown-saving tackle, but that's a gain of 30.
Now, the reason I say 2 downs to get the first down in here, because they probably don't want to punt it, but, you know, if you're a play caller, and Jeff Brohm is the play caller, and he's the head coach makes a decision on that yardage, you're almost always going to run the football.
And a good decision to do so. In the red zone at the 15, as they start to watch the clock as well. With a full pocket of timeouts, Blough's going to run. And he ekes it down just shy of the 5, tackled hard by Marcus Newby. So now Purdue is going to burn the first of those 3 TOs. After the 9-yard carry by Blough. We'll be right back. 2nd down and 1.
Full house tee. I haven't seen that in a long time.
And they hand it off to Markel Jones out of that formation. And he gets it down to the 5, first down.
Yeah, you talk about a wide-open offense. They were in a full house tee. And I don't think the Big Ten's seen that since Woody Hayes was coaching.
And it picked up the first just enough. Blough's going to keep it. Touchdown, Purdue. He faked the give to Worship. And Blough takes it himself. The offense is struggling to move the football. This is an 86-yard drive capped by the run.
Yeah, what a series right before the half. Scoring with 24 seconds. Mixing it up, throwing it, running it, quarterback running it. Impressive.
And it's Spencer Evans on for the PAT. They split the kicking duties. Wasn't the best-looking extra point, but they split the kicking duties between Evans and J.D. Dellinger. That time Evans gets it through after the Blough touchdown run from 5 yards out. That's 3 straight games now that Nebraska's offense has not had a touchdown in the first half.
8 yards rushing. That's got to be the most disappointing thing.
And Purdue with 123 yards on the ground and 2 scores. Stay tuned. Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report with Rick Howard and Chuck coming up from Chicago. 14-6 Purdue. 3 days away from Halloween. You get whatever in the crowd. You get chicken suits in the crowd. Nebraska just 2 field goals in the first half. They will receive the ball to start the 3rd quarter. As we take a peek at our Quicken Loans quarterback comparison, it was David Blough staying in the entire first half. No Sindelar. And then on the other side for Nebraska, of course, Tanner Lee.
Yeah, well, Tanner Lee throwing the ball pretty well, thank goodness, because they can't rush the ball or lick, and he hasn't turned the ball over. And, you know, when you look at David Blough, they had a couple home runs that could mean all the difference in the world. So, you know, by and large, I think that they're playing pretty similar to that first half.
Isaac Zico had a drop that should have been a touchdown. Purdue did take it in on that drive. Let's check back in with Michelle McMahon.
Well, to echo Glenn Mason's point, both coaches said we need to run the ball better. Jeff Brohm, despite the lead for Purdue, felt that that was a huge area of emphasis for him. He said we're not an offensive machine by any means with the pass game, so we need to stick to that run game. All in all, though, Jeff Brohm was pleased with the defensive effort on his side. For Mike Riley, he felt the defense needs to have more discipline. Of course, the slew of injuries don't help there, but the biggest area he stressed to me was, we talked about this before the game, if we are running the ball well, we will be winning this game, and clearly they're not running the ball well tonight, guys.
And Bill Moose, the AD, who was with us a couple of moments ago, talked about that passionate fan base. They have a great fan base here in Lincoln. It's a heck of a game day experience. All the sellouts. He's hoping that they can get this turned back in the right direction as the kickoff from Evans goes for a touchback. 2nd and 8 for Nebraska. He bobbled it, but gathers. Going up and making a great grab to Mornay Pearsonell right in front of Kamal Hardy.
Well, that was a well-executed play all around. Nick Holt brought the corner blitz, so they're playing man coverage. They picked up the corner blitz. Tanner Lee knew it was man, threw it deep. Pearsonell made a great catch.
37 yards for Pearsonell, who has the demons of playing here at Ross-Ade Stadium 2 years ago and tearing his ACL, celebrating a teammate's touchdown. Back to the ground, nothing. A loss of 1. Who else? Juwan Bentley.
Yeah, Bentley shot. They didn't pick him up. And, you know, you're an offensive lineman. You could never let anybody cross your face. And that was the center, Cole Conrad. He looked surprised that the linebacker ran through.
Conrad playing for the injured Michael Decker, who went out in the first half, as did Tanner Farmer at right guard. A lot of shuffling on that O-line for Mike Riley. Underneath is Zigbo, trying to cut and split the defenders, hit hard at the 20. Bentley there again, as was Marcus Bailey, the killer bees.
You can say that again, hit hard. Good position by Bailey. Look at that, he knows he's got help coming from the inside. And that's what you would call a gang tackle. 5 guys rallying to the football.
The All-American marching band trying to get the crowd fired up for 3rd and 6 here in Ross-Ade. Lee over 200 yards, 16 to 25. For the junior from Louisiana.
Here comes the blitz.
Here it does come. Lets it go as he's hit. And it's batted away in the end zone. Antonio Blackman was able to jar it free of J.D. Spielman. And Tanner Lee got licked as he released it.
Yeah, here came the blitz. They can't pick it up. More guys rushing than they have blockers, and he threw a 50-50 ball up there. And good coverage, double coverage by Purdue. And Nebraska lucky that ball wasn't picked off.
That was Danny Easy-Chukwu, the senior, coming right at him. 37-yard field goal. It's been the Drew Brown show for Nebraska's offense, and that trend continues. The brother of former NFL kicker Chris Brown, who also went to Nebraska, tacks on 3 more, 14-9.
Well, we've seen one trick play so far by Jeff Brohm. Maybe we'll see that tonight.
Hook and ladder, that's one of the best. Richie Worship is going to return this kick for the Boilers. Get it out to the 26. A great game at Rutgers, and he's had a great game here tonight. Michelle?
Brandon, as Purdue looks to get their run game going, they haven't won 4 games in a season since 2012. I spoke to junior running back DJ Knox about this. He said, if we were to win tonight, this would be huge for me personally, but also for this program, a legitimizing step to just show how far this Purdue team has come. I asked him what Jeff Brohm has brought to this program. He said, he gives us that extra competitive edge. There is no complacency expected at practice, day in and day out, guys.
Looked pretty sharp here tonight. 5-yard carry on first down.
You know, just to build on what Michelle said, when you sit down and you talk to Jeff Brohm, there's an air of confidence. There's no smoke and mirrors. There's no hype. I mean, he's just matter of fact, but you know he's got a plan.
36-year-old head coach. This Purdue offense, they weren't on the field for 30 minutes on your wristwatch time-wise, but getting back and starting this drive with 2 straight runs. That's 6 yards for DJ Knox.
And you know, the other thing I'd like to say, it was refreshing to sit in there with Coach Brohm. We're in there over a half hour talking to him, and he never once said we're young. He never once said we're injured. He never once talked about things he didn't have. He just was, matter of fact, here's where we are, and this is what we're going to do, and we're going to be as competitive as we can be and try to get better.
David Blough fakes the handoff, finds Gregory Phillips, and again, it's he and Jackson one-on-one on the outside. First down, Purdue. Watch Big Ten football wherever you are with BTN to Go and Fox Sports Go. Never miss a thing all season long. Available in the App Store and Google Play. Love that app. That's how I prep for our games each week. Watch the film on there. Screen, caught, freshman from right here in West Lafayette, Jackson Antrim.
Yeah, that's the fire screen that I talk about all the time, where you let the lineman come in and the wide receiver comes right down the line, and then everybody else blocks out, and you try to hit that little tunnel on the inside. Awful tough to stop. The guys that are best suited to stop that are defensive linemen that know what's going on, and they turn and run inside out to stop it.
Purdue's third trip to the red zone. Their previous 2 trips have been touchdowns as Terry Wright gets dropped down at the 12. Makes things shift around for Bob Diaco's defense. DiCaprio Boodle gets some time out there. Handoff, Worship right up the gut. Powering his way inside the 5. Chris Webber finally tackling Worship.
You like how that 260-pound guy hammers it in there straight ahead?
He has been impressive tonight. Quick handoff right back to him. Churning the legs. It's close, but he's going to be about a half a yard short.
That was quick. As soon as that official marked the ball in play, it was snapped.
Go right back to him, don't you? They do, but this time it's snuffed out by Marcus Newby. Great play by the senior. Loss of 2.
By Marcus Newby.
Look right here, come off the backside, and you can't account for that guy, and that's when you'd like to have the quarterback pull it and just tiptoe in the end zone.
So what do you do on 3rd and goal?
Well, we've been going to, I think they're going to run that underneath route again. It is.
Incomplete. It was Anthony Mahugu. They haven't been able to connect with him all night.
Yeah. I think they would have got to the fade if they had single coverage, but they didn't. They had 2 guys out there, so they went to the one guy to the flat, one guy to the slant. The ball was thrown behind him.
And behind him, indeed. In front of him, maybe he has a chance to beat the coverage of Chris Jones and get in the end zone. Previous 2 trips to the red zone, Purdue had scored touchdowns. This time they'll try to settle for a 20-yard field goal from Spencer Evans. Line drive, and Evans converts. So the field goal good, but still a 1-score game at Ross-Ade Stadium. Chilly night in West Lafayette. Across the way, Neil Armstrong Hall of Engineering, and there is Neil Armstrong. Pretty successful at what he did.
You think?
Just a touch. Along with Glenn Mason, Michelle McMahon, I'm Brandon Gautin. Lucky to have a great crew. Jim Ressler, our producer. Director Pat O'Connor. Bobby Lanigan, Ethan Cooperson taking care of us up here in the booth. We are lucky guys in the 3rd quarter with 6:24 left. It's still a 1-score game after the field goal. And through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Trey Bryant only played 2 games this year. He was going to be a big factor in the backfield. He had knee surgery this last Wednesday. They start through the air. Lee completing it. And dragged down out near midfield Tyler Hoppus. Gain of 23, so that's a good start for the Huskers.
Yeah, good protection. Purdue came with the bull rush, but the Cornhuskers skated in front of him, and that's close to a horse collar.
But not called. 2 catches for Hoppus on the evening, 16 on the season. And Hoppus is a guy who wasn't a factor the last 2 years, but now a senior from right there in Lincoln. He's really been a good target for Tanner Lee. They'll try to stretch it to the outside. This run works well. Jalen Bradley. So we haven't seen much of the freshman, but they really like his legs and his motor. He gets 13 yards there. And that's their longest run of the night.
Yeah, young guy out of Bellevue, Nebraska. If they ever wanted the running game to pick up, it'd be right now. And as you mentioned, the 1-score game.
Pearsonell motions in tight. Bradley, he's got room out there if he can get to the edge. All the way down around the 10 before he steps out.
You know, that's twice now that Bradley has picked up significant yards. Once as a cutback going outside, and the other is just a little counterplay, and then just beating the Boilermakers to the corner.
So he had the 13-yard carry, now a 20-yard run that time for Jalen Bradley. And with Zigbo and Wilbon struggling to pick up yards on the ground, the freshman producing. Back to it. Spinning. Ran into the arms of Garrett Hudson.
Man, that was a good play by Garrett Hudson. You know, the defensive tackle and sucked under, they pitched. The linebacker has to scrape inside out. Easier said than done. Fine play by Garrett Hudson.
And his role has really increased with the injury to T.J. McCollum, who's out again this week. The linebacker, a senior who they are hoping to get back next week for their bout against Illinois. Second and goal. Bradley switches sides. They give it to him, and he's hit in the backfield and dropped by Jalen Robinson.
Yeah, that's got to be a miscue up front for Robinson to get that deep in the backfield from a defensive tackle position. Someone had to go the wrong way.
Third tackle for a loss tonight for Robinson, 27th of the career for him.
And you saw the frustration by Mike Riley there on the sideline.
So 3 red zone trips, 3 field goals so far for Nebraska. This is red zone trip number 4. They're trying to change the script. Lee throws for the end zone in the direction of Spielman. No. 4th down.
Got to kick the field goal.
He had a step on Josh Okonye. And coming into your living room. Indeed, another field goal try for Drew Brown. 25-yarder. He remains perfect tonight.
Man, he has a strong leg.
The kick is good.
Just like his brother Chris. 4 trips to the red zone, 4 of these for the Cornhuskers. The latest Nebraska field goal cuts the Purdue advantage to 5 with 2:06 left in the third. Time for an injury update. What do you have, Michelle?
And Brandon, as Nebraska came up short on that last drive, the news gets worse on the offensive line front. Number 79, their starting center, Michael Decker, will not return to action. He is no longer in game gear in his warm-ups, and certainly a loss there. But a lot of communication from him on the sideline. He's keeping things positive, and certainly a good voice of reason for Cole Conrad.
Next man up. Cole Conrad's been out there for a while. DJ Knox a chance to return it. Across the 30. And out to the 44 goes DJ Knox. The kicker, Drew Brown, had to make the tackle after a 35-yard return.
Yeah, good job there. He feels it. I like when they take it right north and south. Good blocking. Normally have to beat one guy, which he does. Good return. And they needed that because you felt like momentum, and we're only in the third quarter, but momentum had gone to Nebraska. And when that happens, you got to get it back, you got to counter, and you got to counter with your offense or the special teams, which they did right there. Excellent field position.
Bob Diaco's defense, which has been pretty good, looking to stay stiff here. Markel Jones spun forward by Alex Davis on the big P at midfield, a gain of 5.
You know, I think that the success of Nebraska coming here at the end is going to be, can the corners play this press coverage that they're playing?
Stacked receivers, Terry Wright. Nice move by Terry Wright. They can't bring him down. Just pushed out of bounds eventually by Marcus Newby.
Another injured player.
11-yard gain for number 9. AP top 10. Penn State, Ohio State, that was a headliner with the Buckeyes roaring back at the end to win it by a penny. And the 2 leads that you see there, Clemson, Oklahoma, those are at halftime right now.
How about the Cyclones? 2 losses on the year. Tough loss to Iowa, tough loss to Texas.
This time Blough is keeping it, fooled everybody. Into the red zone before he's brought down by Markel Dismuke.
See, I think this play right here is an extension when we saw it down on the goal line when you saw the defensive end close and tackle it. And I mentioned, I said, you know, if he would have kept the ball, he tipped on the end zone. Those guys upstairs saw that. Right situation, they did it again.
3 quarters in the books. Purdue up 5 and marching. Looking to expand that lead and make it a 2-score game. 4th quarter coming up from Ross-Ade Stadium. Both teams told us this week we have to run the football better. And as we head to the 4th quarter, Purdue, they have run the football better.
170 yards through 3 quarters. I think that Jeff Brohm and his offensive staff would be very happy. They're going in the right direction, and not so much for the Cornhuskers on the other side of the field.
The job right now for Nebraska is try to hold Purdue to 3. Good atmosphere on a chilly night. We got Waldo. There he is. We've seen Santa,
you know,
Kool-Aid. We've seen the Chicken Man.
I don't know. I don't know how you know all these characters. I have not misspent youth. That's
Look, there's Will Ferrell.
Neil Armstrong.
And there's Neil Armstrong, right?
Santa Claus.
Santa, you need to keep that hat and the beard
UCLA,
on.
you didn't do so well today.
And mustard without ketchup. So the 4th quarter begins with a ball inside the red zone. Blough is going to keep it again. Did that a moment ago for a much better gain. He takes it down inside the 15. So Lamar Jackson is back. Now he's nursing that shoulder injury. He's still trying to work that out.
Yeah, you know, when I see a guy like that, I'm not saying they're going to do it right here, but when guys like that, I'm going to test him deep. He may be thinking more about his little injury than cover me on the fade route.
Blough went for 3 yards, 2nd and 7. Looking to the right. He's got it to Antrim. Antrim stretches it across for the Purdue touchdown.
It's one of my impact players right there. David Blough, he's fired up.
The redshirt freshman, the local product, getting in and making it a 2-score game.
Yeah, all those blocks, ball's caught behind the line of scrimmage, they can block downfield, and that young man's got some quicks.
He did not have a touchdown the last 4 games. Defenses have really been keying in on Jackson Antrim. So all 4 of his touchdowns came early in the season until that one right there. Extra point good by Dellinger. Purdue's first 4 drives, they had 4 punts. The last 5 drives, 3 touchdowns and a field goal. And Antrim with a return into the end zone for the first time in 5 weeks. He's a legacy. Plays like that, you better believe he's making a name for himself. Spielman had a 99-yard touchdown return earlier in the year, week 1 against Arkansas State. That time he gets it out to the 30. Tanner Lee charged with trying to bring Nebraska back from a 12-point deficit, 18-30. Just under 240 yards passing for Lee. Fakes the give, and that's a dangerous ball in the direction of Pearson L. Okonye. Diving attempt at an interception, knocks it down.
Yeah, you can see they had the corner over the top, and Okonye, he fell right underneath that. And a lot of times the quarterback will lose track of where that corner is. He figures he's going to go up on the swing man, but he fell back just like he should. You can break up on the guy in the flat, but if they throw that in the hole, the corner can't take care of it.
2nd and 10. Underneath to Bradley. Set up the screen and let Bradley do the rest.
complete to Bradley.
10 yards.
Yeah, you know, time's a-ticking, guys. And, you know, you got to be impressed with Jalen Bradley so far. I mean, he gives them a little spark, a little different dimension, but I don't like how much time they're wasting in the huddle here.
Now they break that huddle. Bradley, 52 total yards. Bulk of that coming here in the second half. Play action. Underneath. Once again, Bradley made a man miss. Gets into Purdue territory. He shook Antonio Blackman, and then gets across the 50, 13-yard gain.
Yeah, he's effective at what they're trying to do. Runs the ball, he catches well, and he's a full-speed player. Not the biggest guy, 6 foot, 180 pounds, but he's playing big.
From the Purdue 47. This time on the ground with Bradley to the 44, a gain of 3. 13 minutes left. Bradley was the top skill player in the state of Nebraska last year. You mentioned he's from Bellevue, an hour away from Lincoln. Just 7 rushes coming into the game, but he has been solid here in the second half for Mike Riley. All of his yards have come here in the third and the fourth quarters. DeMornay Pearsonell dragged down 2 yards shy of the marker by Kamal Harding.
Yeah, Harding, that was a nice tackle. Nice pass by Tanner Lee. Gives him a chance. He gets out there in a hurry to square up, do something, but good defense. Couldn't do anything.
7 of 23 combined, and 4 down territory, you would think.
No. I know. No way.
I was going to say, what, Coach? Bradley out. Wilbon in the backfield now, along with Lee. He's got it. Yeah. Safe pass to Mikhail Wilbon, who was wide open. Easy first down, and then a tackle by Danny Izuchukwu, gain of 12.
Yeah, he was wide open. Even when he ran out in the flat, he was wide open, and he came on the under route. There's no one accounting for him.
And the field goal, of course, doesn't help because that would only get you down to 9, so it would still be a 2-score game. Four field goals tonight. That's all that Nebraska's been able to muster against this Purdue defense. Boilers rush 5 in the direction of Hoppus. He's got it. Touchdown, Nebraska. Tyler Hoppus.
Please pass complete to Tyler Hoppus. Touchdown, Nebraska.
27-yard touchdown reception, his second of the season, and don't go away yet. Nebraska's right back in it.
Yeah, Tanner Lee put this ball in the money. Look, he's leaning back. He throws it from his heels, but he put the ball right on the money.
It took Nebraska 58 plays to find the end zone in this game, but they got there. And Drew Brown, who has all the other points, tacks on the PAT. Tanner Lee, 14th touchdown pass of the season. Hoppus into the end zone. We got a ball game in West Lafayette. Hoppus on the left. He just caught the touchdown pass from Tanner Lee on the right. Tanner Lee now at 306 yards passing. Most of his Nebraska career, which tops the 303 he had 2 weeks ago against Ohio State. You look at the last 4 games for Lee now, 7 touchdowns, just 1 interception. Hasn't thrown any tonight. DJ Knox had a great return earlier in this game. That one not so good as he's brought down shy of the 20. Richie Worship stuffed. check back in with Michelle McMahon.
Well, guys, prior to the offense coming out for this drive, David Blough was the most vocal leader on the sideline, saying we have to do the little things right, guys. And after that defensive drive, these guys are nothing but smiles. Not one player on this team has had 4 victories in one season here at Purdue, guys.
Nebraska also looking for their 4th win of the season. It's a big game for bowl eligibility with 5 weeks left. Low throw. Did he haul it in? He did. Gregory Phillips, nice catch. Took it off the blades of the grass here at Ross-Ade Stadium.
Well, they got it back to a workable yardage now. Big 3rd down.
This Nebraska defense at times has come up big. At times they floundered. And they bow their necks here on 3rd and 3.
One high safety. Anticipating blitz.
Handoff, Worship. Short. He is short. Is Richie Worship. Carlos Davis got there first. Ben Stille was in the mix as well for Mike Riley and that Bob Diaco defense.
Really good play by the Cornhuskers. You don't see that guy get stood up and knocked backward very often.
Also need to give a big hat tip to Chris Weber at 240 pounds, meeting 260-pound Worship. 500 pounds a man, and Weber won the battle. So Nebraska has forced 2 straight 3-and-outs. .42-yard punt, no return, less than 7 to play. Tanner Lee thrown for a season-high 306 yards, touchdown, no picks, and he'll be charged with trying to lead Nebraska down the field to take the lead.
Yeah, this would be a great situation. I think he's played pretty well tonight. Talked about the absence of a running game, but he's controlled and made some big plays. And, you know, with 6:52 left, if he could mount a drive and put him in the end zone, could turn their whole season around.
Clean pocket for Lee. But he had nobody to go to. Dumps it off underneath, and Zigbo drops it.
Yeah, you can see he was looking left the whole time. Good coverage by the Boilermakers, and he came back right late and dropped ball, but there wouldn't have been much anyway.
It's been a good one from West Lafayette. Glenn Mason and Michelle McMahon. I'm Brandon Gaudin with 5:37 left in the 4th.
And a 2nd and 20.
The chilly late October air. Purdue rushing forward. The pressure gets there. Buck Lee is able to complete it to Spielman. There might have been a face mask on the end of that. Yes, there will be. Flag comes in. Tack that on to the end, and Nebraska's in business.
And you got to appreciate Tanner Lee, because I'll tell you, he got waylaid as he delivered that football.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 3. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic 1st down.
Watch it right here. He kind of floats into the pressure, but he knows he's going to get hit. Gave it to J.D. Spielman. Here comes the defense. Gets north and south and up. They got him. Hardy got his hand out there and pulled the face mask.
Second penalty this quarter for Hardy. He got a full hand of face mask there. Things getting tense here at Ross-Ade Stadium in the red zone. Goes Nebraska after the penalty. Oh, the fake throw and the handoff. They give it to Spielman this time on the ground, but Purdue was there.
You know, we've talked about that guy right there, J.D. Spielman. From the moment I saw him against Arkansas State in the opener, this guy is something special, just a young guy, but you know, you want to put the ball in his hands as much as you can. He plays that slot receiver, but excellent position to run the jet sweep or the reverse.
Adopted son of Vikings GM Rick Spielman. Uncle Chris Spielman, of course. Gets a breather right here, though. Second down. Handoff. Pretty good hole right side. Down to the 15 goes Jalen Bradley. Okoye and Robinson combining on the stop, so 3rd and 5. 3rd and 6 officially. The tension mounting on both sidelines.
You know, now as you're a coach, you get down here, is it 4-down territory, or do you kick the field goal and have confidence in your defense to be able to come back and then win on a field goal?
The clock is now inside of 4 minutes.
That's why they pay the head coach the big bucks to make those decisions.
Lee in and out of the hands of Wilbon. Even if he had caught it, he was going to be dropped right at the 15 by Bailey.
Well, it looks like they're going to go for it.
It would be a 32-yard field goal. You have the 2 timeouts, but the offense is staying out there.
So now if you're Nick Holm, do you play coverage or do you light him up? As simple as that.
What do you think he does?
All indications he's going to play coverage right here, but now he's walking down. They're going to come after him.
They do. Lee throws for the end zone. Incomplete. Is there a flag? No. Antonio Blackman on the coverage. J.D. Spielman was pleading to get a yellow flag out. No such luck.
Yeah, I think it was good coverage. Good no call.
Tossing it out to DJ Knox. That's a good first down gain for Purdue. Out to the 22. So 2nd and 3. And the clock ticking. Play clock still at 20. So you would think that Purdue would just take their time here, and that's what they'll do. Blough was up like he was ready to snap it. Now he's just looking over at the sideline to Jeff Brohm. Snap comes with 2 on the play clock. Back to Knox. A crease and a first down. Now the window of opportunity getting smaller for Nebraska.
Yeah, you got to start using your timeouts. No use getting on the plane, taking them home with you.
Yeah, that won't do you any good. Knox 66 yards on 9 carries. He had a season-high 13 carries, 84 yards last week in the loss to Rutgers. They take Knox out and bring back in Worship, who is behind Blough in the pistol, and it will be the big back. Bruising ahead just for a yard. So now Nebraska takes their 2nd timeout with 2:20 remaining.
Well, if you're Jeff Brohm and you're talking to your offense, you know you're going to run the ball to keep the clock going, and you like to pick up a first down and the game's over. But the main thing is you're telling those guys, you secure the football. Don't start fighting for that extra inch and holding the ball out there. You protect the football.
1 timeout left for Nebraska. They're just going to do a straight keep here. Blough dropped right around the 30. 2:15 left. And Purdue facing a 3rd and 7. If they convert here, ball game. Junior David Blough hands it off to Worship, and he's going to be dragged down well short of the line to gain. So Nebraska will have another opportunity. Nick Stoltenberg with a tackle. It has been an error-free game as far as turnovers are concerned. We haven't had a single one. Chopper, the junior from Indianapolis.
And let's not forget who's back returning the punt.
Mornay Pearsonell. He can be electric.
And they go to return.
Chopper getting it away easily. And a fair catch, so no chance to return it for Pearsonell. And here comes Tanner Lee. 361 yards passing tonight. Last time Nebraska had a 400-yard passing game 2 years ago on this field. It was actually a 55-45 Nebraska loss. Riker Fife had that game under center.
Well, they got to do it without timeouts.
And 1:22 remaining, down by 5. Purdue bringing 4 underneath, complete. Ezigbo, smart decision, runs right to the Purdue sideline.
Got out of bounds. They've got to assume that they're going to get zone coverage. They're going to rush 4, maybe even 3 sometimes. If you get some crossing routes like that, I wouldn't be surprised to see Nick Holt rush 3 and drop somebody out.
7-yard reception for Ezigbo, 2nd and 3.
Most importantly, got out of bounds.
And last play took just 6 seconds off the clock. What a catch! Hoppus!
And out of bounds.
And out of bounds indeed. 16-yard grab. That one sort of flirted with disaster, but right over the fingertips into the hands of Hoppus.
Now, I talked about, from a defensive standpoint, you want to play zone because you don't want to give up the quick one. But if you can't stop them, then you got to say, hey, you know what? I got to go back because the blitz pressure has been effective.
Hoppus is over 100 yards receiving for the tight end. Okonye almost batted that last pass down for Purdue, but not tall enough. Down to the left side, complete to Pearsonell. And so far, this has been a thing of beauty for Nebraska and Tanner Lee.
Yeah, good job by the Husker offensive line. They're picking up the twist stunts on the inside and gimme throws on the outside, and Tanner Lee's putting the ball right on the money.
You're already to the 35. Even though you don't have any timeouts, you still have 67 seconds remaining.
That's a lot of time.
Still want to play sideline, though, right?
Absolutely. Or end zone.
Or end zone. Lee out left, stretching, and getting out Devine Ezigbo. He's dragged by Kamal Hardy, but he was able to stop the clock after a 6-yard pickup.
When is Nick Holt going to do something different? You know, as this ball gets closer to the goal line, you don't have to worry about the deep ball as much. You have to worry about the fade, but not the deep ball.
Tanner Lee's over 400 yards.
Here comes the blitz. Zone blitz.
Yeah, they zone blitz it indeed.
Yeah.
Pass complete. J.D. Spielman in the red zone.
Yeah, short blitz, dropped out, played zone blitz, and put pressure on the quarterback, but Tanner Lee still put the ball on the money.
Clock winds on the ready. Snap coming from the 19. Ezigbo escapes 1, escapes 2. Tries to get out of bounds.
Inbounds.
But he cannot. Brought down inbounds by Kamal Hardy. Tanner Lee 6 of 6 on this drive as the clock winds down to 30 seconds left.
Time's the essence. Either clock it or get a play.
They finally get out of Lee's way. He takes a shotgun snap. And he's hit as he throws, incomplete. Nice job that time, Eddie Wilson, to get in there and apply the pressure.
Well, here you see the play where he throws it outside, and it looked like stayed up. Close to getting out of bounds.
Yeah, it was close. They kept the clock rolling, so now 18 seconds left. A drive that has gone 57 yards on 7 plays so far. Coming down to the nitty-gritty in West Lafayette.
It's a little surprised to go with a single wide here.
Lee over the middle. Caught. Touchdown. Stanley Morgan. Nebraska leads it. With just 14 seconds remaining, Tanner Lee, who's had a career day, finds his favorite target, Stanley Morgan, to put Nebraska in the driver's seat. And now they're going to go for 2. No reason to go for 1 here, in case Purdue would somehow get into field goal range.
Got to go for 2 if you got the card, and the only thing you worry about is throwing a pick going the other way.
That last passing attempt for Tanner Lee was his 50th of the game.
Well, Mike said they didn't want to throw at 47 tonight.
2-point conversion try. Lee has nobody. Flings it up incomplete in the direction of Pearson L. 14 seconds left now for Purdue to try to make a miracle happen on the other end.
Man, has Tanner Lee had a night. No pressure, puts the ball right on the money. 3-man rush, playing coverage.
And Stanley Morgan, who had a 46-yard reception on Nebraska's opening play, and then a 13-yard touchdown reception on what will likely be their last offensive play.
431 yards passing.
192 of those in this fourth quarter, including 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, you know, you got to credit a guy for the heat that he took and hanging in there. You know, I mean, hats off to him.
Richie Worship will also watch the clock as he's tackled with 10 seconds left. Can Purdue pull a rabbit out of their hat? It is complete to Anthony Mahungu. I think they may have tried the hook and ladder.
I think
there.
you're exactly right.
And DJ Knox running on the sideline.
Yeah.
Purdue's going to have to take the timeout with 5 seconds left.
Good call. The ball was just too far inside. You know, this might be one of those razzle-dazzle plays that they have it where they keep throwing around everybody. And
Wow, hang on to your hat. Here we go.
There it comes, razzle-dazzle.
They flip it to the outside to Knox. Ooh. But Knox is pushed out, and that is your ball game.
Wow.
Tanner Lee takes the Cornhuskers down the field and finds the end zone. Stanley Morgan with a touchdown reception to put the Cornhuskers over the top, and they win it 25-24. And it's a game that Nebraska fans felt was a must-win. And for Mike Riley, a must-win, and they got it. Shout is with Mike Riley.
Coach, it came down to the final moments. What happened on that last play to create this victory?
Well, you know, we got a little bit in a situation where we had to throw pretty much all the time, but guys were making plays, and we made some real clutch plays last couple drives in the game.
What did this win teach you about this team?
Oh, I really like this team. I've said that from the beginning. I think we're growing. You know, there's a lot of young kids we're playing out there tonight, and I think that they're fighting like crazy, and I think we're getting better.
And they're fighting like crazy to get to a bowl game. This win gets you one step closer. How important is that?
Oh, you know, I don't normally talk about what might be down the road, but I did mention that there's still a lot to play for here, and it had to start with this night. So this was a great win for our team.
Coach, thanks so much for the time, guys.
Thanks, Michelle. Tanner Lee, 7 of 8 on that final drive, and the most passing yards by a Husker in 8 years. Tanner Lee was sensational, especially down the stretch.
Yeah, you got to give the guy a lot of credit. And, you know, when they had to make the drive and Purdue had to play what they played defensively, they picked them apart.
For Glenn Mason and Michelle McMahon, I'm Brandon Gaudin. That'll do it from West Lafayette, Nebraska. In a thriller, 25-24 over Purdue. We'll toss it to Chicago for the final drive presented by Auto Owners.